What's up guys, we have the Coco Super Loon Super Trick, amazing stuff. Now if you don't know this tip, if you don't know how to do it, well, this is something you're going to need to learn. So it works on Loon attacks. Now this is what you want to do if you're going to do like a suicide Lalo or any type of Lalo that you can get to the Inferno. So look what the attacker's doing here. Mudkey coming in hot, taking down these air defenses, and you can kind of tell what's happening here, creating a funnel. And then soon we're going to get to the super amazing trick. Now out at the funnels here, there's really only one, the best place to enter with your Loon. If you don't know, you don't come over here at 2 or 10, you come over here at 1 o'clock. And how do you get this Inferno Tower down? Well, look what happens here. You pre-place the haste if you need be, or put the Loons down, then the haste, but you put one Loon and then you wait a number of seconds. He waited about 5 seconds, 4 or 5 seconds. You just want to create this sort of gap here. If you drop the first Loon and then right behind the rest of the Loons, it's not going to work out. So what you're doing is you can either guess, because a lot of people love to put red bombs by Infernos. It's pretty standard. You see it all the time. Now, if you're certainly a cleanup hit, then you already know where the red bombs are. But all this it's called a Coco Loon, people call it, or just a crazy Loon, as we could say. His job right here is to trigger the red bombs, because red bombs damage Loons, obviously. We already know that, but look at this. You see the gap distance? Pause it. Look. If these Loons were right behind it, they have a little splash damage, it would damage all the Loons. But because it's in front, look at that. Look at that. Taking out both red bombs. So what that means is, and I'm going to show you the previous attack on this base where it didn't do that, and you could tell what happened to Loons. You see how these Loons stayed alive? Look at that. They got to the sweeper, plus they got all the way to the bomb tower, and they're still and they just died out right before they got to the wizard tower. You see that, guys? That is what you want to do. Another trick that you can also do is put a hound, if you can get the right pathing. Of course, you want hounds to trigger the red bombs. Pretty standard stuff. The reason why, because red bombs don't do any damage, hardly any damage to the hounds, if that makes sense. So here is the first hit on this base, and guess what happens? He does not do the Coco Loon. He does not send in that Loon all by itself. He put all the Loons there by itself. Now, this was the first hit on the base, so he didn't know, but honestly, if you see this sort of setup and you're going into Inferno, always go with the Coco Loon, guys. You always want to do with that the Loon that's going to trigger all the traps. That's what you want. But look what's going to happen here. You see all these Loons? Look at that. They all die out. They don't even get the sweeper. You remember last time, the previous hit, it got to the sweeper and the bomb tower. Now the reason why the bomb tower is important and the sweeper, because it's huge. That's less, it makes good pathing for these inner core Loons. You see these Loons here? It just helps speed things up. These Loons weren't being distracted. They had to take down 2 extra defenses. That was no good. And because they had to take down 2 extra defenses, look, they were slow to getting to this back end, so this was a fail. This was close. It came down to the wire, but it was just not enough time left. In this first attack, it ended up a 3-star because of that Coco Loon. Really, and some of the other Loon placement was a bit better, but mainly those Coco Loon, the trigger Loon was huge. So guys, be sure to do that, and if you're not doing that, make sure. So again, some tips. A lot of people love to put red bombs by the Inferno Towers, or even Tesla farms. Tesla farms or wizard farms. So if you see a wizard farm and you're like, oh, I'm going to send in my Loons there, and you don't have a heal spell, send in your hound over the wizard farm or the Tesla farm if you can, or send one Loon in to trigger those traps, and then send behind it the rest of the Loons. You'll smack every base. Well, if you execute properly, you'll smack every base, but you'll begin to see that you'll have way more Loons up, and it will go well for you. That's the tip of the day. Be sure to subscribe for more tips and tricks. Smack the notification button. Visit me live on Twitch if you want to see some awesome live attacks. I attack live on stream. We get 3 stars, we get hit ups, we get awesomeness, and we have a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something. And if you didn't, come back next time. Halo out.